Hello, how is everyone? So for those, it's been a while actually since I've done a live, so it's good to be back. And for those that don't know me, or this is the first time you're watching one of my lives, I'm Kayla and I head Tony Robbins' team at Success Resources. And I've been conducting some Facebook chats, interviews, just to get a feel from people who have experienced Tony's events, to hear real life stories of how he's affected, positively impacted them. So it's really no agenda, it's just to inspire people out there. And here's some real life stories and inspire everyone watching. So if you're joining, thanks for jumping on. Hey, give me a wave. I'm speaking to Carlos. He's actually in Spain, so this is pretty cool. I'm in London, he's in Spain. I'm still working with the Australian team, so most of the audience are in Australia. So good evening if you're there. Hey Bob, thanks for the wave. Right, so I'm just gonna add Carlos. I've had loads of technical problems the last few times. Okay, it's just adding.
Hello.
Hey! Hi, Carlos.
Kayla, nice to see you.
Likewise. Oh, thank you so much for taking time out to do this.
No worries, my pleasure. I was looking forward to this.
So we met, where did we first meet? In the Diamond Lounge at UPW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had been Facebook friends for a little while, I believe. But then we met in person in the Diamond Lounge. That was September.
Yeah. And that was your first Tony Robbins experience. So I'm really excited to talk with you today because I've heard a lot of great things about you. Firstly, if I put a post out yesterday and all the wonderful comments about you, you sound like an incredible coach. So I'm so interested to hear your full story, because I actually personally don't know it myself either.
Yeah, of course. So well, I'm not gonna give you the full story because I don't wanna talk here for hours. But to make it short and interesting, I'm from Spain, actually from a little region in Spain in the north, which is called Catalonia. You might have heard something in the news. And I joined corporate when I was 24. I'm an engineer, and I didn't know what to do with my life because I didn't have the information. I just went following like the course of things happening. You kind of just follow the trends. You do what it's meant for you to do. And I got into corporate and I got really, really overwhelmed. And after 5 years in corporate, I decided that wasn't the life I wanted to live. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, but then I moved to Australia, and that was when I started my journey and started to get a little bit more into coaching, discovering some coaches and understanding what this coaching thing was. And I started doing things that other people would tell me, "Oh, you're so brave. I couldn't do that." And these things, these kind of affirmations have been going on in my life for a long time. And I always said, if I can do that, you can do it too. So anyway, then I met a coach there, and then this coach was like a fan of Tony Robbins. And then I kind of started following Tony Robbins for a while. And it was when I got back to Europe from Australia, that was like in 2016. And I got back to corporate again. And I wasn't being happy. I was living like a life of reaction. I was jumping from one company to the other, one job to the other. I would last for like 5-6 months, and then, like a friend of mine, that was a present. He gave me like this program. It's called Get the Edge, from this Tony Robbins guy, whom I had been following for a little while, and but I didn't know him like really well. And when I did this training, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. So I decided at this very moment, and that was 2017, that I was going to run my coaching business, and I wanted to have a coaching business. And I did two things. I made this decision, and I made it very public. And the second thing I did was I understood that I needed to give before even I was thinking of getting anything new. So I sponsored my first kid in India. So I'm now sponsoring a few kids in this part of the world. And that was 2017. But of course, I mean, I got my head around this coaching thing and I wanted to do that. But it wasn't until this very year, actually, that I could build my coaching business from 0 to 6 figures in 7 months. And I've been meeting like amazing people like yourself, and also I started working with a coach who helped me a lot as well. So I could harness the power of coaching. And then I set up, my goal was to sit on Robbins in next year in 2020. But I could see him this year, which was like a dream come true. And this is in a nutshell what I'm doing now. I'm just living my dream.
Wow, okay. So that's like, that's a complete life transformation. So you went from always being in corporate, just jumping from one job to the next. Like what really was missing though? Because a lot of people kind of accept that as, that's just life. No one likes to go to work. So what was it for you that is like, nah, I need to take huge action now?
Well, what else for me is like I've been about to die like 3 times in my life, and I've been really close to death. So I've come to realize that we're talking here today. Life is beautiful. It's sunny in Spain. I don't know about in UK, but here it's beautiful. And, and then we finish the call. I get out, across the street. Someone runs over me. Gone. So life is beautiful. I mean, I don't want to be pessimistic. I don't want to be dramatic, but reality is that that's what I experienced, and I experienced from being completely living the rock star lifestyle and living life beautifully to the next day waking up in a hospital after 10 days in a coma. And I'm like, hang on, life is, it's not going to be super short, but I might take advantage of it. And that's one of the things that made me, yeah, you need to do something. And when I met Tony, I'm like, yeah, what it really made an impact, it was, understanding how to use my 6 human needs, how to use the relationship that I had with pleasure and pain to basically adjust my approach and get to where I want to be. And then I thought the coaching it was like a very powerful tool to use. So it kind of, everything was falling into place.
Okay.
What
was I had no idea about you being in a coma for 10 days. So obviously that was a big wake up call for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I was young. I mean, I'm still young, but I was younger. I was 21, and at this time, I had like a illegal business going on. I was living the sex, drugs, and rock and roll lifestyle. I was DJing, I was partying hard, I was doing drugs, I was doing everything that you shouldn't be doing, actually, at least not full time. And then I just crashed, and I crashed my car against the wall, and I was having like a big night out, and all of a sudden I wake up 10 days later in a hospital. I'm like, what the hell's happened here?
Whoa.
I didn't understand what I was. I didn't know what were all these people doing around me. And it took me like weeks to actually understand what had happened. And then you kind of look back and look forward and say, okay, so what do I do here? Because the time that I got is limited, and time is the only thing that we all have the same time. What we do with the time that we got is completely up to us. So this was like a big call, like a massive call. And also it changes the perspective and the way you have to approach life. Because to me now, I mean, it doesn't make sense to spend my time watching TV, watching Netflix, or, I just want to make sure that the time that I got in the world here, I make something meaningful. I make something the day that I'm gone, I want the balance of myself in the world to be a positive balance. I want to make sure that when I'm gone, this world, it's a better place than what it was when I got here.
Wow. Imagine if that was the mindset of everyone on this planet. What a beautiful place it would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's growing, and
yeah.
Fortunately, like the coaching industry, it is blooming, it is growing, and it's beautiful because you start surrounding by people And you got yourself like a beautiful story, Kayla, and like all the people that I've been meeting along the journey, that they related, that we share ambitions, we share the same purpose, and the same outlook to life. And I feel that this is changing, and every day more and more people want to become coaches. And Tony Robbins is like it's great leader. I mean, when I was in UPW and it was like 8,000 people in there, I'm like, oh my gosh, he's doing that with 8,000 people and all this beautiful community in this room, like having this massive time, and you talk to everyone wants to change the world. And look, and there's a way, because one of my driving forces is to show people that it is actually possible. That if you find the right mentor, if you find the right people, if you surround yourself with the right community, there's a way to make things better and to change the world, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what would be your, if somebody has, because you don't mind me saying, you're 40 next year, aren't you?
I told you, don't. Yeah, I'm 40, but I look like 25. I know. I take a lot of care of myself, and I do a lot of sport. Yeah, I forgive you.
But it's a milestone for a lot of people, and a lot of people tell me, oh, I'm too stuck in my ways. It's too late now. But it just shows that it's never too late to leave that legacy behind, because all we have is now.
Yeah. That's a really good question, actually. And look, when I made the decision to fly to Australia with no English skills, with knowing no one there, had no job, had no money, I was 32. Some people will say, oh, 32, I wouldn't do that ever at this age. I'm like, whoa, like we decide what we're going to do with the time that we have left. It doesn't matter if you're 50, 40, 60. Some of my clients are over 60, and they have the most powerful driving power to achieve their goals, because the game is over only when you say it's going to be over. So anyone that has the desire to live a better life, it doesn't matter how old you are, because look, I'm 39, and I built my business in 6 months. I mean, of course, look, this is also important. I mean, I'm living the life of my dreams. I'm living a life of design versus the life of reaction that I was living before. One thing that I didn't say is that for 2 years, since 2017 until 2019, I did struggle trying to do things myself and cherry picking information from here and there. Of course, I wouldn't pay for an event of Tony Robbins, because how would I pay for this thing if I can get it for free? That was my mentality. That's the mentality that got me nowhere. When I decided, okay, now it's time, I want to see this guy, I watched the I'm Not Your Guru, and I said, oh my goodness, I need to see him in person. And I started investing in myself, into coaching, into personal development, in reading books, in going to events. I hired a coach, and I'm getting goosebumps when I'm saying that, because like when I met my coach, he was someone I was looking up, and he still is. And now I'm working as his head coach in his business, which is a business in Australia. So I mean, if I did that, like a guy with a thick accent, like someone who didn't even speak the language, anyone can do that. And I'm almost 40. So there's no excuses, because the thing is that life can be over at any given moment, and you have the opportunity today to change your future. And the only thing you need to do is to take action. Find someone who can guide you, who can lead you, because again, like proximity is power, and all the people that you meet when you get into this arena, into this environment, and you get to Tony Robbins events, and it is like amazing, everyone there, like the vibe and the culture, and there's people that can help you out. So
it's so interesting when you say that, and I'm so glad you pointed that out. At the moment that you started to invest in yourself, that's when you started to see the change, when you started to get the return.
Definitely.
Because so many people out there that I'll read books, I don't need to pay for this. All the resources are out there. Yeah. But when you've got some skin in the game and you're like, okay, I've committed to this, I've just invested this much money, time, energy, everything, that I'm going to get the most from this.
Yeah, you said something really important. You get your skin in the game, and the thing is that when I decided, I was playing around with things, and okay, I need to change, I need to do that, I need to build my business, I want to live my life, I don't want to work for anyone else, and I was playing it safe because I was always in corporate, and it wasn't until the moment that I say, hey, I'll give you all my money, you take it all. I don't have resources, I don't have an income, I don't have anything but this money, but I'm gonna put everything into my personal development, into my coach, into my coaching training. And happily, like funny enough, this moment, it is the moment that my business took off, because I went from zero to making $20,000 a month with my coaching business in 30 days. And it was like a win or perish bet. Like I was all in. So you said I got my skin in there. I mean, it was, I was the only way forward. It was to succeed.
Mm.
And of course, you invest in yourself, and the investing in yourself, in personal development, in personal, in your skills, it is the best thing. And it's the investment that's going to give you the biggest ROI ever. Because at the end of the day, look, when I went to Australia, sorry, I need to say that. I was an engineer. I had the sales skills. I had everything, but I didn't speak the language. And what I realized when I got to Australia, I couldn't get a job. I couldn't do anything because all these skills that I had, they didn't serve me in this place. The only thing that it served me was all the personal development, all the personal values, the principles, my attitude towards life. This is the only thing that helped me succeed in Australia. And you only get that when you invest in yourself and in your personal development. So I couldn't stress that enough.
I love that. So what happened for you then at UPW, Unleash the Power Within? How did you feel when you walked through those doors?
Well, I feel like I'm still walking as if I has a stick up in my ass now, because I'm still walking like, yeah. Or like when I went in, I got surprised because having been a DJ for like 20 years, I understand that keeping the energy of a room with 8,000 people inside with no drugs and no alcohol, it is real hard. And I was I was amazed at the vibe, at the energy, at how everyone was playing so full out. And the thing is that when I got out of the UPW, and Tony keeps saying your life will never be the same, and it's actually true, because I met like different commitments in my personal life and business, and one of these commitments was that you instead of giving 100%, I was going to be 150% from now on. So I always try to play flat, but sometimes you can always go for this extra mile, right? So yeah, I mean, it was a really big boost of energy and moving forward even with more passion, if you can.
Awesome. And with did you do the firewalk? I just want to ask.
Oh, of course. You
No
know
question.
what? I was you there like firewall. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah. But then when you're walking towards the fire, you start having second thoughts, right? And you're like, oh, what if I'm one of these that get burned? What if I don't do it? And then I walked through the fire, and then I was hugging my friends at the other end. I'm like, oh, I did it. And then I was looking back. I'm like, you should fire then, because you're so excited, and yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It was a beautiful experience. Like, literally, when you set your mind to do something, when you make a decision, a conscious decision of making something happen, there's nothing that can stop you. And this is the message that more powerfully came across from UPW, and it's all in your mind. And I mean, it is amazing when you decide and you become resourceful and you start looking for answers, what you can achieve.
It's when you put it like that, it's so simple, isn't it? That's
Yeah,
all it is.
yeah. And the firewalk, it is just a proof of that. It is just a living proof. You experience this, because you would never think that you could walk on fire, and then you walk on fire, and it's like, wow, that was like nothing. So what happens is that what stops us is our fears. I'm not gonna be good enough. I'm not gonna make it. I can't do it. Of course, what made the biggest difference there was having Tony like leading us through the entire process, you know, because if I had tried that by myself, I wouldn't have made it because I had no idea how to do it. So once again, you know, getting the right mentors, the right people, because it's true. Like the reality is that we all dream big in the coaching industry, and when someone wants to become a coach, we want to change the world, but 96% of the coaches don't make it. But I think one of the biggest issues is that, you know, we don't have, most of us, we say, yeah, I'll do it myself. I don't need Tony to do that. And then we fail. And then when we decide to find our Tony, you know, find a coach, find someone who can lead us through the firewall, then we make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So now you're living a life by design, in your words. So what does that really mean to you, and what does like living a life by reaction mean?
But living a life of reaction to me means that, you know, when I started my career in corporate, I got my degree in engineering. What I was doing was I was following my dad's dreams, and that was the dream that he had set up for me. Like, and I accomplished it like to the T, like perfectly designed for me. But it wasn't me designing my life. It was someone else, and I was reacting to what society had ready for me. And it is very different when you say, okay, is that the life that I want to live? Is looking 10 years from now, how I would like to see myself, what kind of life, what kind of business, what kind of income, what kind of impact I want to make in the world. And then you have to do the reverse engineering and take the steps today that's going to lead you to this place. And the funny thing is that some people think, oh, you know, but it's going to take me 10 years. No, it's going to take you one single decision. Because the moment you decide that you're going to change your life and you're going to live a life of design and you're going to live the life of your dreams, you need to understand that there's going to be a process. And now your 9 to 5 is not a 9 to 5 anymore. Your 9 to 5 is a stepping stone that's going to take you to finally live the life of your dreams. Because you set up your goal, you set up like a path to follow. But of course, you know, like, and as Tony says a lot, that people overestimate what we can achieve in a year, and we underestimate what we can achieve in 10 years. So once you set your mind towards where you're going, once you decide how your life is going to be, you start living a life of design, because it's all part of the process. And you start enjoying this process, because this is the life that you design. This is a life that you are choosing to live. And it's very different than being pissed off and being angry and having to go to work every day, because then it sucks. Then you're doing something because you have to. But if you do something because you want to, because it's going to take you to this place, completely different story. It's a completely different mindset, and you're moving forward. You're not stuck in your job. You're in your job because it's going to help you move forward.
What would you say to people that are not happy with where they're at right now, but they can't see long term what that goal is? It's not clear to them right now, but they know that they don't want to be where they're at.
Yeah. So my advice, and it is a really good question, and something that I've been thinking a lot, because if you ask me where you want to be in 10 years, I don't know. How can people have 10 years goal if I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow, so to speak? But I know that I have an idea where I want to be, and what you need to worry is where are you going to put your foot where are you going to put your foot next, right? So worry about what's the next step. Like if you're here now and you know that you're going in that direction, you know that the next step is going to be into that direction. So you make sure that you don't go backwards, and that you don't go in any of the directions. So what I would say is, hey, if you're not happy with what you're doing now, if you wanna become a coach or live a different life, like get an idea of the ultimate goal that you want, and try to see what's next for you, what you can do. Ask for help, do some research. Do something that makes you feel that you're moving forward. Because at the end of the day, it's not only about moving forward, but feeling that you're moving forward. Because if you feel stuck, you'll probably be stuck. But if you feel that you're doing anything you can, and the thing is that if you are wondering if you are in the right path, it means that you already are in the right path. Because asking the right questions will give you the right answers. and you cannot expect asking the right questions, like uh, like you can get, sometimes you don't get to the right question right away, but you need to keep asking questions, and you eventually will get where you want to be. So don't worry if you don't want to get the paralysis by analysis, which means I don't know what I really want when I'm 60, so I don't do anything. No, you know that this is something you don't want, then you start moving forward.
So you're saying, like, to break it down, yeah, so like baby steps are better than no steps. So it's just doing something. And I love the bit where you say about finding a mentor, because I think if you just find someone out there who's already living a life that is inspiring you, then learn from them, no matter what industry. Just find someone who's already doing it.
Look, because one of the things that I'm very proud of myself is that I always fuck up and I always make mistakes. And I don't beat myself up when I make mistakes. I'm actually, today I've done I've done one, you know that. I managed to get my Facebook account on hold, so I'll be sharing my real account when it's back. So anyway, what I mean is, like, I did that mistake too, and I thought I knew everything, and I wanted to be successful and to do what these successful people do, but I thought I was going to do it myself, and you can do it yourself. It might take 2 years, 10 years, maybe you never get there, but the quickest way to get where you want to be, it is to find someone who's already there and walk with them and coach. Again, like, coaching is already a really powerful tool, because it's not like they're gonna tell you how to get there and then they're gone. They will help you get resourceful, find the tools, find the resources, find the strategy, get the mindset that you need to get where you want to be. So instead of spending 2, 3, 4, 5 years to build your life of design, you get someone who's gonna help you get there much quicker, and spending less money. Because at the end of the day, if you invest in something someone that's gonna help you get there, like, in time and in money, that's going to save you a lot. No?
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and it's never too late.
Definitely.
You know, when we were just talking earlier about it's never too late, we only have now. It just brought me back to a time where I booked a 72-year-old into UPW, and then he signed up to Platinum Partners. So that means a year with Tony. And he told me, after I caught up with him a year later, and he said he lived more in that year than he had his entire life.
Absolutely. Even if it's 10 minutes of your life, you don't know what's left for you to live. So you need to make the most out of the time you got now. And if it's a year, fantastic. If it's 10, fucking great. But if it's 5 minutes and it's worth it, So, that's the way I live my life. And I always say, I don't believe in this carpe diem sort of thing, like, let's blow it all up now and tomorrow, whatever. Live your life as if it was the last day of your life. But keep in mind that it's probably not going to be the last one. So enjoy it and make the most out of the moment today. Think about the future, because it's probably going to be a future for you, but don't be focused on the future, because it might not be that important. It might not happen the way you think it's going to happen. To make sure that that you make the most out of the time now, because you can't live in the future. If we live in the past, it's called anxiety. So we better live in the now to make sure that the future, if there is one, it's good.
And to know that wherever you're at right now is where you are meant to be, because we're all learning. We're learning everything for a reason, and it's just going to help us grow.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no regrets. Where you are, where I am, we've made it up to this point in life, and we are the only one responsible for our own situation at the moment, and we are also responsible for whatever happens in the future. So once you own responsibility, once you take full responsibility about your life, about where you are, about what you do, and your progress, then you start living a life of design, because you're not a victim, and you go from victim to victim, which is like the last speech that we had this year in UPW, and it's very true. Instead of complaining about life and things happening to you, life happens for you, not to you. So you can make it any way you want. And if it's not like you want it, well, stop complaining and start asking yourself, what can I do to change this now?
That's better question.
And warranted, the quality of your life, it will change 100%.
Yeah, amazing. Well, and then just to find that lastly ask, from UPW, what would you say was the biggest takeaway that you've applied now that you didn't know before UPW?
The biggest thing that I apply now, well, I've been following Tony for years, and I love to beat everything that he does, and he himself as well. But from UPW, what I get, like one of the things that I didn't realize how powerful it would be the power of proximity, the power of surrounding yourself with so many people, like under one single roof, wanting the same thing, like sharing this moment. This to me was one of the most powerful things. Like the vibe that we lived for 4 days, it was like being on a high for 4 days. And this was really powerful, not only during these 4 days, which was amazing fun and beautiful to meet people who think and believe and want similar things in life, but also the push that it gives you moving forward. How you realize how powerful we are, and it's like someone giving you like a big push, and then you do things that you wouldn't do before. You didn't think that you could do
because
before.
You don't know what you don't know, so there's always a level
yeah.
up.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I've been following Robbins for a long time. I've been doing trainings, blah blah blah. But it's nothing like living it in your own skin. It's being there and experiencing the whole thing. And then it's like all the things that you had, all the knowledge, you start implementing it, and then you take action. And he forces you to take action. And it is when you take action and start, implementing everything you learn that it's powerful. So. Am I answering your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Everyone has a different takeaway from it. It's whatever you put into the program is what you get out. So not two people have the same experience, because you might go and talk to somebody because you just build up the courage to say, nah, I'm going to introduce myself to them. And then you could strike up a business deal that is going to completely change the course of your business. So it's different for everyone.
Yeah. This is I mean, that's a really good point. I mean, then I met people that I had never met before in person, but we had been Facebook friends for a long time. This was beautiful. And then I met other people that I thought I would never meet, I would have never met in under other circumstances. And then it's like you feel like, wow, thanks to that I met these people, now I'm making this progress in my business. I'm getting this connection which I didn't have before. So it's your network increases, and your network is your net worth. And if you want to change your life, you need to surround yourself by people who have changed their lives or who want to change their lives too, because it's going to help you grow. It's going to help you move forward and level up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I heard somebody else say this the other day. The saying, you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. That's going to be average bank account, average weight, average time, like everything. You're going to be the average of those people.
Yeah, absolutely. It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah. Okay, Carlos. Well, thank you again. It's been so lovely talking with you.
Thank you.
You are an amazing coach, and we've actually had a pretty similar journey because we both just left. You left Spain, I left England on a one-way ticket to Australia.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. So I'll see you probably in Australia again.
Yeah, I'll be back for Date with Destiny next. Actually, I don't know if you'll be there, will you, in April?
I'm gonna go next year to Date with Destiny. Not sure if it's gonna be in Australia or in the United States. I'm gonna be in Sydney in January. So if you happen to be around, otherwise you can come to Spain, which is sunnier than UK.
Done.
All right, Kayla, thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks a lot for.
No worries. Take care. Enjoy your day.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.